Hey everyone, it's Amanda with Massage Therapy Media, and we are in Burlington, Ontario today at Cardon Rehab, and we're going to get a chance to get a tour to see where your massage tables are made. But first, we're going to talk to the owner, Mardig, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how Cardon came to be.
Good morning. Welcome to Cardon Rehabilitation, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to show you around as to what we do and how we manufacture the tables and pulleys. And Cardon was established by Charlie Cardon back in about 45 years now. And in 2009, Charlie and I were connected by a mutual friend. And Charlie being an elder gentleman and not having a succession plan in place, was willing to sell his company. And at the time, I wanted to diversify from automotive component manufacturing into something else, so I thought it was a great opportunity. So that happened back in 2009. So we manufacture everything here. We design everything. We've got our own design team, engineering, and all the fabrication, machining, which we'll show you around and show you how we do it, is done here. So we don't depend on offshore suppliers. The only thing that we don't do in-house is do the powder coating, which is a paint process, and that is done with our partners that are around us. So welcome again to Cardon, and let's start the tour. So we're right now in our one of the facilities where we do the fabrication, a lot of the cutting, machining, and so forth, and we do storage of parts and components that we have cut. In June, July, we will have our own tube laser machine, which will cut all the tubing that we require. Right now, we've got partners that we send long lengths out to, and they do the cutting for us. So what we do is we bring them in. The parts are all numbered, they're itemized, and they're located in our shelves. And we bring them out from here, take it to our second plant where we do the welding and further fabrication, as well as the final assembly. So one of the things that we do here that I'd like to show you is our own machining. So we're going to walk over to where we have our CNC lathes, and those are the ones that make the components. They're all made to very, very fine tolerances. Our tolerances are 0.001 thousandths of an inch, so that it is a precision part, and therefore the component makes the final product very robust. So we'll go and have a look at the machines while they're working. One of the tables that we have uses a lot of bent tube instead of welding them, so it gives it a little bit more integrity. And we've got a basic bender here, which is a precision bender, and it operates on hydraulics. And it will, as you see, it will bend it smooth without any breakage. Nice and clear. As you can see, there's no wrinkle, which is a big problem in tube bending. It is a very smooth, tight finish without any stress risers. So from our first facility that we just visited, we're right next door. So the material is transferred to this plant where we do the welding, assembly, and final inspection. But I wanted to point out one thing, and that is the material that we use is a cold-drawn precision steel tubing. It's an automotive grade steel tubing. It is typically 3.5 to 4 times stronger than commercial grade steel. This, as you can see, is a laser cut component that goes onto the subframe. Everything is cut so that it fits perfectly to the mating part. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Nick, who is our robotic welder, to demonstrate how we put one of the components together. He's going to put the lifting arm together. These are 5 components that go into the lifting arm. The lifting arm is one of the most critical components in the table because that's where all the weight bearing location is on the lifting arm. As you can see, the component is cut. We call it a saddle so that it fits on the diameter of the tube, and it's got a tab. The tab basically will fit into the arm. And the arm has got a slot, so this will mount on like this. So I'm going to hand the gusset, which is also tabbed, to Nick, and Nick is going to put that onto the assembly. Again, it stands perfectly solid. So what we're going to use here is a filler gauge, which is 1/1000th of an inch thick. That's the thickness of a hair. And I'm going to try to put it underneath. So what the purpose of this is to see if this filler gauge will go through the base. And that shows you that everything is lined up perfectly and there are no gaps at all. Basically, it means that everything is aligned properly. This is the finished product. The lifting arm completely welded, and it's welded in this robotic cell. We can put 4 of these onto this bed and have it finished within a few minutes. Each one done perfectly so that the weld is in its exact position, and it is a very efficient process, and we depend on that quite a bit. As I had mentioned earlier, the only thing that we don't do in-house is the paint, and we've got a partner close by that does a fabulous job for us. It's all powder coating. So these are now welded, inspected, cleaned, and ready to be painted. What you see behind me is the painted parts. They're powder coated, and they are assembled here so that they are taken over to the assembly line, which we'll visit in, very shortly. One of the inspection areas or points is after assembly is completed, we put it on a blanchard ground steel plate, which basically means it's a flat surface, and we check to see if there is any rock or any kind of movement in the table. It's a very important part of the inspection because this will basically reflect how stable the table is going to be in the field.